Leading the discussion here today. I don't get often a chance teaching other classes, so really looking forward to it today. So thank you for taking the time. This session is recorded, and let me see if I did my homework right. I'm not sure if I have it up. I don't. If you'll give me 2 secs, I'll get the recording doc. You'll bear with me here for a moment where we update all the recordings, okay? And today, folks, we're going to talk about custom text codes. So the agenda I propose is thus. We are going to spend about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to give you a high-level overview of how to build your own text codes and how to actually use them. Where the heck do I even put them out there into the world and really market those? So actually, I'm not seeing this doc here. Bear with me. I will present that to you before the close of class. You'll forgive me. I'll make sure that everyone here gets a copy of the recording, okay? I'm not seeming to find it, and I don't want to waste anyone's time, so let's get back after it. Bear with me, and here we go. Folks, text codes. Every person on this call has the ability to create their own text codes. How do we do that, and why should you, and why should you care? Well, I know you want leads. I want you to get leads too. And given the choice, I'm sure that you would appreciate to have phone numbers with those leads. Well, with text codes, that's what you get. You get their phone number. So agenda-wise, we're going to talk about how to create those and how do we actually use them, and what best practices can we learn about those. I'd like to share with you preliminarily a couple articles here. I'm going to put this into the chat. Bear with me. Where is my thing? There it is. Change the chat to everyone if you would, please, folks. That way, if we have any comments, feedback, suggestion, you all are muted, but I'd love to have you participate. Okay, so I just forwarded to you 2 of our main articles, our text codes overview and how they work. Now, let me give you my version of how this works again. If everyone, hopefully you can see my screen right now. I'm in the main dashboard when I first log into the system. I'm going to locate my name in the upper right-hand corner. My name is Brett. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to get a drop down, and the first thing I'm going to see is this telephone number. The first rule of the Office Smart Number, friends, and that's what it's called, the Office Smart Number. We don't call it, it calls us. Let's review how it works before we create a code with it. 1, after you've imported all your contacts into KV Core, if any of those contacts see and call this number, which is only advertised on the Office website, whatever office you're a part of, this number lives on that website. But this is a good thing, and you want to know why? Because it keeps your leads with you. If you've imported your leads, one of those leads find their way to your Office website. They see that number, they call it, that number calls you, and that number is going to come up on your caller ID. So if you haven't yet, I'd recommend that each and every one of you enter whatever number you have here into your phone as a contact. So when it calls you, you know it's one of 2 things, and one of 2 things only. It's either an existing lead or it's a new lead. When someone signs up on your website, KV Core is going to call you, text you, and email you that you got a new lead. If your lead finds its way to your Office website, now remember that net number is not advertised on your personal site. Only your cell phone is. That's how it's set up. I just want you to be clear on that. But on your Office website, that number lives, and if one of your leads that you've imported calls it, sees it, calls it, that number calls you, and it routes back to you. When you get a new lead sign up on your website, that number calls you. When you get a new lead, period, like from using a text code, which we're about to create, and look at a use case right here, folks. And I should be able to show you this. If you're up for it, you're just going to have to let me know you want to see it. Look how I did a kind of a call to action here on my demo site. I created a text code, and you can do this too. And I said, text Carlsbad home value to my smart number to see what your home might be worth. This could be anything. A text code could be anything, but here's a good use case. And another use case for text codes that I use, if you click in the upper right on your name again, and you come down to my profile. It's the fourth choice down, my profile. And you create your signature, which hopefully you've all done at this point. I'm going to go to edit profile. That's where I upload my image on my website. But when I come down to my signature field, another great use case is to create a text code and put it in your signature line. You just want to see all homes for sale in San Diego, text only, Brett, that's a code I made, to my smart number, and you'll get a list of properties for sale in San Diego. You're going to get a telephone number lead. And in fact, it looks kind of like this. Let me see if I can find what it would look like in your CRM. Bear with me. Because folks, you can filter for the source of tracked call, because that's what it's called. The source will be anything that comes from your smart number, a text code, is going to be called a tracked call. See, I have some. See how it's just a telephone number? That's how the lead's going to come in for you until and when you actually find their name and their email. Okay. So when you see stuff like that, that means someone texted my smart number and I got a lead. Is everybody with me so far? Well, Michael, no. The question is, everyone, can that web text code rotate? For instance, Carlsbad, San Diego, Chula Vista, etc. Now, I could create text codes for each one of those, Michael. Yes, but I would be using the same number in each instance. Let's build one, and I think it'll make more sense. Does anyone else have questions before we move on to that? Okay. Good question. Let's navigate to our lead engine on the left, everyone. Lead engine on the left. It's our left vertical menu. I'm kind of in the center. Let's go ahead and see all lead engine tools. Now, before I show you what to actually put in the text code, we're going to first take a peek at it, and then I'm going to show you how to use Squeeze Page to build all your text codes. Because, Michael, what I'm going to do is I could create a Squeeze Page for homes for sale in Carlsbad, create that text code of Carlsbad homes, and then promote it out there. And I'd use a Squeeze Page that had a list of all Carlsbad homes for sale, and I'd create a single text code. Next, I'd do one for Chula Vista, same thing. I'd create a Squeeze Page, homes for sale in Chula Vista. I'd put it in a text code and I'd call it, maybe Chula Vista or something like that. Okay, so that's what we're in essence doing here. Let's go ahead and click on Call and Text Capture Get Started. Let's just kind of orient ourselves, if you will, of what we see here. Now, in the upper right, you are going to see something that says your personal text code is this. And bear with me here. We are not going to talk about that today. We just did a class in the Success Meetups and Tips. Here it is. Not too long ago. Bear with me. I'll see if I can get a recording link. No, not on here. Oh, I see what we're doing, everyone. We're going to be posting this on YouTube. That's why I don't have a recording. So my team will be posting this on YouTube. Let me get the link for you. I'm getting my act together here, folks. This is my first time doing this, so I appreciate your patience with me. Not training, but doing this particular class. Okay, bear with me here. Okay, yeah, it's our YouTube channel. But my point being that we just did a class on this not too long ago on your agent text code. We are going to create one from scratch. You'll note that on the left-hand title, it says your office smart number is this. If I click in the upper right on my name again, you'll see that's the same number. This is the number that we're going to be using to build our text code. This is the number that calls you when you have a new lead or you have an existing lead that calls it. We do not advertise this on our website to call, but we certainly can to text. And that lead will be years and years alone. Okay. Bear with me here, friends, 2 secs. I'm just going to pull up that link to the YouTube channel because I don't want to leave you hanging on that. Sorry, I got to pull up way too many software. So, that's our value proposition for what KV Core is when we talk to people about it for the very first time, in that it really positions you so you have one place to run your whole business. And when I'm trying to do this right now, I wish that we had something like this for not just real estate. You know what I mean? That I could run my whole work business here with Inside Real Estate, but I had to pop up Slack. So there you go. There is a link to our YouTube channel where we will be updating today's recording. There we go. Let's build this guy now. What do you say? There we go. Cool. All right. So in essence, what we're going to be doing, excuse me, anything you've ever created will be available for you to reuse. And these text codes are all reusable. We saw the use case of our email signature, check. You saw a use case on my website, check. I also have used it before. Sorry for the scroll down here. Give me a sec. You can put a text code in a blog post. That's another call to action, kind of some passive lead gen. So I created a like Encinitas open houses. Text code is what I called it. There's my smart number. And I used a squeeze page to get a list of Encinitas open houses. And then I put it in a blog post. If someone does that, I'm going to get their telephone number. So email signature, blog post, website, or I could create a landing page. And I'll walk you through this one. I'm going to move fast for a second, but then I'll show you how to do this. We have a text code one, so I could do, something like, Encinitas open houses. So I could create a text code, put it on a landing page, and then post this to social media. That is another way that we could leverage these text codes. You might say, well, which works better? Email and phone capture, texting, calling someone, emailing someone. Who knows? And I mean that in the most professional way, meaning that every market is truly different. So we should try them all and see which we get the best results with. But literally, I would be saving this in a click. I could post this, creates a quick ad for me for Facebook and post to Facebook. So that is another use case we can use with text codes. So these are going to be our use cases. All right, everyone, are we ready to build? Everyone kind of seen the big picture of what we're going to do here today? These are unlimited, meaning you have no limit to how many of these you can make. It's up to you. So here's my pro tip for you, folks. We're going to be working in 2 tabs, meaning I'm going to leave this page here, and then I'm going to right click on lead engine over on the left. I'm going to right click on lead engine over on the left, and I'm going to open link in new tabs. So I'm going to literally have 2 tabs of KV Core open. One is my text code here. The second one is going to be the lead engine again. Why? Because we're going to go build a squeeze page. I'm going to show you how to build 2 right out of the gate. We're going to do a search all, your area, and then home value, your area. And those are 2 big, 2 good ones to start with. But it could be a list of open houses, just listed, homes with a pool. Could be, remember, your active listings. We're doing this for you automatically in Playbooks. Let me take a quick segue before we actually build this. Playbooks, friends, when you get an active listing in KV Core, and I'm up here in the upper left, 2 down from the top, you can also find it on the main dashboard, promote a new listing, bring you to the same place. It's going to automatically populate your new listing here, and you can start promoting it with a few clicks. Notify your whole office, reverse prospect your CRM, and we create a text code for you automatically for your new listing. Now we're about to create one custom on our own, right? But just know you have no need to do it. If you have an active listing and it's your listing, we're doing it for you. So save yourself a step here, and you'll notice there's that smart number again. So I could, another use case, put a text code. How about on a sign writer, a business card, printed out listing presentation sheet. I knew one fellow, and I thought this was a great use case of text codes, did an open house and put a different text code in every bedroom or every room of the house, and was getting more lead phone numbers while people were walking through his open house. He had little cards up there that says, hey, in the kitchen, it was like places to eat, and let's say Encinitas or something, and you'd text places to eat and it'd give you a list. You can put anything in a text code you want. We're using a squeeze page with specific property information, but heck, you could create a text code and put any URL in the world that you want in there. If I want to send you to Amazon, I could. If I wanted to send you a list of Grubhub or something like that, I could. Right? So how about in the kids' bedrooms, the guy did a text code with school districts, okay, or things about particular schools around there, and people were texting the text code in his open house, right? So cool ways that you can use this. So just know for your own listing, you don't need to create one. We already did. Okay, if you're working someone else's listing and it's not your listing, get permission from that listing agent. You could still do something like this, okay? Back to our lead engine. back to IDX squeeze page. So to reiterate, you have two tabs open. One, call and text capture. So I'm ready to build my text code. Two, the regular lead engine dashboard, and we're going to build a squeeze page, and I'm going to select my website, my domain. You're going to all notice a click down. You got to click in that field and say, you mean this one? And I'm going to say, yep. And you're going to start building. Now in here, we have 4 different types of squeeze pages. I know I have 5. Really depends on your MLS if you support sold data or not. When in question, ask your broker. And they can run that answer down for you. But you're going to at least have multi-property. That would be a list. Show me everything in Encinitas, for example. And notice anywhere you see location or area in this platform means you can type in keyword search and it's going to sync with your MLS and tell you what options you have. I have city of Encinitas, area, I have neighborhoods. All right. You can pick multiple values if you want, but let's say I just want to see properties in Encinitas right now, all for sale. This is how fast I can do it. I would just go, okay, all types, all styles, all prices, all square footage. I just want to see everything. I generate that link. And this, my friends, is the use of the short link. If you've never created squeeze pages before, definitely jump in our Thursday class about lead gen that we offer from the training calendar, because we're not going to go deep on that right now, just text codes. But when we do posting to social media, we use the long direct link. But when we create text codes, we use the short link. That's it. So if I copied this link to my clipboard and I pasted that into a brand new web browser tab, that is all the homes for sale in Encinitas right now, all types, all prices, all square footage. There are 57 in Encinitas. Now, the beautiful thing about our squeeze pages is they're dynamic. So that means this link I just created is good forever. So if I kept this on, for example, my website or my signature, or wrote it on a business card, someone could use it 3 weeks from now, and whatever the total number of houses for sale in Encinitas, California are on this moment, on that moment, and that's the results they're going to get. So you don't have to rebuild them, is my point. Now, up here at the top, you'll notice there's a history. As I mentioned, you can reuse these, right? So you don't have to build them twice. I like to recommend hashtags so that you can identify what they are. And what I mean by that is if you go in history, I can say, okay, on 8/16, I built a squeeze page, multi-property. The city was Carlsbad. I didn't give it a hashtag and I don't know anything else about it. What is it? I don't know, because I didn't hashtag it. Maybe it was a list of just listed. Maybe it was a list of reduced, fixer-uppers, open houses, with a view, with a pool, any and all those things. But if I gave it a hashtag, then I'd be able to know what that list was, like just listed Carlsbad, home value Carlsbad. So what I recommend, when you build a squeeze page, even if you're putting it in text code, give her a quick hashtag. That way you'll know what this was for. So if this was all homes Encinitas, maybe I say, I give it a hashtag Encinitas, all Encinitas homes. It can be anything you want. You're the only one that sees this. Think of it as you building, if I could spell Encinitas homes. You just don't need spaces. That's it. And I created a tag. So now anybody texts this code for real, I'm going to get a tag of all Encinitas homes. And I'll go, oh, that was my list of all homes for Encinitas. Now, something to note before anybody jumps ahead and tests this. You can test it, but you cannot, I repeat, cannot test it with your agent phone number. It will not work. Everyone get that? Remember what I told you? You don't call this smart number. The smart number calls you. Well, even further, you can't test it with your cell phone because this number calls your cell phone. You're certainly welcome to test it, and you should just use someone else's phone that's not in your profile and no other agent using KB Core. Does that make sense? And then it'll work exactly as designed. So now I have my list. Search all homes in Encinitas. Now I'm going to go build my text code. I'm going to copy it to my clipboard, the short link. What did I do again? Encinitas. Everything, all types, all prices, everything for sale. I gave it a quick tag, a label. I copied it to my clipboard, and I'm going to go build my text code. Come over to the right-hand side. We're going to add new. It's a green button in the kind of the middle right, add new. Here we go. So call it whatever you want. Now, here's the thing. If someone else already came up with the same exact code, you won't be able to add it. That's how it works. Imagine for a moment, everyone on this call, we're all sharing the same smart number because that's what an office does. So if Brett already had Carlsbad Homes and I tried to do Carlsbad Homes, it's going to say you can't do this because Brett already did. And you'll have to use something else. You with me? Now, the code does not have to be in hashtag format. The code is really what people are putting in their phone. They are going to be texting this word to your smart number, and you get a telephone number and they get the information that you advertised. So for this one, I'm just going to call it, and don't worry about, what do you call it? Case sensitive. Don't have to worry about that. It'll work either way. Encinitas Homes. I'm just going to call it that. Encinita, Encinitas Homes. Now notice when it says what to send your next step, you have two options. Either one MLS ID, meaning if I had one property that I was making a code for, well, I could just put in that MLS ID or the address. It would validate, and that's what I'm promoting out into the world or out there online. Now, the thing about this is you don't get to add a message with this, meaning I would say text Encinitas Homes to this number. They'd get that property immediately on their phone, and that's it. I like the message option. That's option 2. I can put a link and a message. So what do you think we're going to do with that short link we just copied over from over here on our squeeze page for all homes for sale in Encinitas, California? I copy that short link to my clipboard. I come back over to my text code and I just paste her in. And now I'd put a little message that says, you can search, or let me try this. Thank you for your interest. Please note that you can search safely and more accurate and accurately, because it is more accurate than Zillow. It is. You can search safely, privately, and more accurately than any other real estate website out there. Please see, or please click the link below to see all homes for sale in Encinitas, California. Please contact me. I would put in my cell phone number right here too if I were you. Please, at my cell phone right here for any questions, and have a great day. Right? And then there's their click to link. So now Encinitas Homes, there's my link. There is another option for hashtag, but since I already hashtagged my squeeze page link, I don't need to do both. I guess I could have done it this way too. I like the squeeze page better. Hit add. Look what has happened in the lower left. Text code already exists. I did that one on purpose, just so you'd be able to experience what could happen. So I'm gonna say, okay, so I can't do that one. So how about I do all Encinitas Homes? Same thing. I'm not going to make the super long message, search for all homes for sale in Encinitas, California. I would copy that link, paste it in. I would say thanks. Make sure to validate with your smart number. If you see more than one, make sure it's the one that is in the upper right-hand corner. Whatever one that one is, or whatever one you see there on your call and text capture, that's the one you want. Go ahead and hit add. Boom. I just added it. So now we're in the money. All Encinitas Homes. So now, if I wanted to see that, if you want to see it again, and you can always come back and change it. Maybe you say, well, personally, a best practice here, friends, that's too long. That is way too long of something that someone has to type, in my opinion. If I could just say Encinitas, that would be better, but I know in my brokerage, someone probably already took it. Sold Encinitas, all Encinitas Homes. You getting the idea here? Okay. Let's see how we're doing in the chat. So I only have about 5 more minutes here. I'm going to open up a Q&A, and then We'll see where we're sitting here. Bear with me. Michael, am I putting my cell phone there, my KV core number there? Thanks. Hopefully you got that one. Let's look at that one again, Michael. So I recommend to put your cell phone number in here as well, because remember, I'm telling them if they saw this like here, let's say they saw it, just build landing page, and I use the text code one. We'll build this one next. And I said, text all Encinitas homes. I'm telling them to text it to this number. That's your smart number. And what that does is it, number one, notifies you immediately. Number two, automatically creates the lead for you in KV Core. But that isn't your cell phone number. So I personally and professionally like to have my cell phone and a number in here so they can call me. I mean, they could respond back to it and you could respond to them. It's just not going to work exactly like you'd expect on your cell phone. That's all. So I like to bring my cell phone in. Use this to generate the initial conversation, then take it from there with your cell. You have it forever, unless you delete it. Correct. That code is yours forever. Yep. Can reuse it. In what I did, actually, a little bit more use case, I made one that, because you all have a default one that's some variation of your name and no one else can have that. And you'll notice it's the first one in the list, but I can't change it. It's Brett and only Brett, or whatever yours says there. And what I do on SignWriters is I just change this one every time I have a listing. You see what I mean? Now, I know, like I said, we created text code for you automatically for each listing, but I like to have my name on my SignWriter. So I just come in each time and go, I update it with the MLS ID of my new listing. I never have to change the code on my sign. Do you know what I mean? So each time I'm updating it with a new MLS ID, but I never change the code. It's another way you could look at it, depending. I wanted to show you how to create one from scratch. Let's build one more. Let's go back to squeeze page. And this time, let's go to seller squeeze. It's at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 over from the left, seller squeeze. Now, when I teach how to do squeeze pages, I always recommend to put in a source, but technically we're not posting this to social media, so we're going to skip it, is what I'm suggesting right now. Or you could put in there like text code or something, just that that you didn't post it to social media. I could just say, text code, and that would be your source, so to speak. Hashtag, I'd do it, and I would do your area, home value, or home worth, or because that's what we're doing here. If you want familiar on your website, sorry about that, you all have a valuation page, right? Anybody who signs up and does this comes into you as a seller lead. But we can generate these using the text code and put it like on your like I said, your email signature, or we're going to put it on one of these landing pages too. I could say, text, a home value, if that's the one I created, to see what your home might be worth, and then put in a message, right? So let's build this second one, because now you all have a search all. That was our first one. So I'm going back to lead engine, back to seller squeeze. I gave it a source hashtag. I'm going to call it, we'll stick with my example of Encinitas home value. When I use a hashtag, remember, no spaces. You don't even need the symbol. That's it. Hit enter. I tagged it. That's only for me to see. Location, type it in. Give it a second or two to validate. There it is, Encinitas. Generate your link. Copy the short link. Now, for me, before I build a code, I always like to test it and make sure that whatever I'm doing is legit. So I'll say, is it bringing me there? Yes, it absolutely is. It says the average home estimate in Encinitas is 3.02 mil. Get your estimate below. So yep, it works. So then I come back over to my text code, same place, lead engine called text capture, and I'm going to add new. I'm over here on the right-hand side. And what I like to do is drop the link in first, then work backwards. So then I know it's there. So I'm going to put my link in. Okay, now I'm going to put in my message. Say something like, of course, I want the ones that are serious, but not serious about selling, but curious what your home might be worth in today's market. Click below for a quick and free estimate. I would also do a call to action like, for a true and accurate CMA, please contact me directly. And to your point, Michael, I would also put my cell phone in here and say, you know, here is my cell phone number. And if anyone asks, I'm like, this is my virtual number is what I like to call it, right? It helps you stay in contact with your leads and generate new leads. Because remember, we use that same number to call in text from the platform. You know, if I wanted to make a call right now, I could, and my contact would see that number on their caller ID. Now, if you're using your mobile app, it's going to show your cell phone. But if I'm using my laptop and I make a call, it's going to show that number. Okay, but we're doing the text code, just letting you know. So I have my code or my squeeze page, and there's my link. Thanks very much and take care. Right. So what's my code going to be? Now, you know, if you can do one word, do it and try that one first. Maybe I just say it could be as easy as home value. Maybe I don't even need to put Encinitas in there, you know. I'll try it, but I think I'm already using that one. Home Encinitas, home value. Little pro tip, I'm saving this all, so when if I add it and it's not, it won't let me save, I don't have to retype it. It already exists. So boom, back here, code. How about just home? Right? Text home. Text code added. All right, so now I have a valuation. I have a search all Encinitas. I have a home value Encinitas. I got about 3 minutes to wrap up here, friends. So I'll pause for questions here in a moment. But those were our two now use cases. One, my profile, upper right, edit, find your signature, and paste those codes we just built into your signature. Two, business cards. Three, you know, a listing presentation sheet. Four, landing page. Lead engine, landing page. Now you got to have that. Since we already built the text code, we're good. You just remember what it is. I select my domain, start building. Here's how we build a landing page and post it to social media. So in the upper left is where we're going to start, and we're going to pick our template. You have about 7 of them. For this use case, we're doing a text code. So I'm going to do text lead. What's my text code? Home. Right, if I wanted home value, or what was my other one? All Encinitas homes, or yeah, homes. Okay, that was the first one we built. Background, you got lots of choices. You have lots of choices here. I like the home value report. Pretty good if you're doing home value. You know, land, new construction, open house. Maybe I say reduced. Right? Home buyers. Then you're going to come in here and say search, or whatever you want to put in here. Just put in your call to action. Search safely and accurately on my site for all homes for sale in Encinitas, California. Maybe I come down here and say your information is private. I could, every bullet you see here, folks, the idea is for you to put your own information or own call to action in here. And if you don't want them, just delete them. Double click them, they're gone. Gone. Right? If you see your town, put your town in there, or just delete the whole thing out. Okay, looks good, looks good. I don't see any typos. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save. This is telling me once I save it, that's it. I can't edit it, but I can reuse it because this text code is good forever. I just created it. So now I'd come to the upper left. See that little green button up there? All those boxes disappeared. And now I'm ready to post. So then I would click that, expand my social media. We have 4 right now that are auto posts. But that doesn't mean you couldn't put this link anywhere in the world that you want it. It just means that we don't automatically create an ad for you. Because I know I get the question about Instagram, Snapchat. You know, we got LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest here, but heck, you can post that link anywhere and this form would still come up once they clicked on it. But let's just go ahead and do Facebook. Creates a quick ad for me. I'm going to put in my call to action. You know, in this one, it was search safely for all homes. Safely for all homes for sale in Encinitas. In Encinitas. You get the idea. And then you just post, and we just posted to your Facebook account. Someone clicks on that ad from Facebook, they get this. They text all Encinitas homes to your smart number. You just got a lead. That, my friends, is text codes in a nutshell. Questions? What do we think? Do you think you could build a text code now? I mean, it's really easy if all you have to remember is to start with the squeeze page, because the squeeze page, I can put any of these can be a text code. Just use that short link. Like if I wanted to make another one for, let's say, Carlsbad, California, I'd type Carlsbad. Maybe I want a list of all open houses. So we have that. There's a bunch of options down here at the bottom, like just listed, open houses, reduced, 55 plus, with the view, with the pool. So if I picked open house, generated that link, copied that short link, then I could come over here and create a text code. Look how fast I could do this. I'll do it fast on purpose just so you can see it. I'd add new, I'd come over to message, I'd post in that link. What was this one? Carlsbad open houses. You know, I don't have to put in a message, but you know, here is my message. There's the link. Pick that smart number, and I just created a text code. This one already existed, but you get the idea. How quick you could make one of those. Just always use the squeeze page. Get out there and do it, folks. What do we think? You got something to try today. We can add to our signature, put 2 in, search all. That'll be a multi-property. And then I like to call it the sell, your seller squeeze. How much is your home worth? I'd start with these 2 first and go from there. And then post it on social media. Build a landing page. In the landing page, you're going to pick the text lead template in the upper left, and you're going to put that text code you just created right in here and post it. Awesome. Folks, thank you for your time. Questions, I'm here for them. And if not, I'll get you back to your day. We will post this to that YouTube channel I just put into the chat. I hope this was helpful. Hope you learned something you didn't know today and give you some ammo to get out there. Give people a reason to go to your website, folks. That's our job. That is correct. Thank you, Michelle. Michael, that is correct. Yep. My colleague Heather will be uploading that later today. Yes, sir. Thanks, folks. Appreciate your time. Outstanding. Appreciate the participation. You know what you can do? Something. And I don't mean that in a cheesy way. We got to give people a reason to go to your site. If we're looking at getting leads, you're either paying for it or you're doing it for free. We can leverage the technology you already have and build some text codes. And let's put this thing to work. All right. So thank you once again. Be safe out there. Thank you. Get on video and say goodbye to you all. There it is. Thanks, everyone. Once again, my name was Brett Kay. It was a pleasure. Be safe out there. I hope you win that listing. Cheers.